Yo, what is up guys? Ethan here back from another video, and today we return with March Madness recaps. Like I said, I'm probably going to be doing this every day for the rest of the games or days with games, so look out for these videos. So round of 32, day 1, fantastic, and I think it was pretty obvious what the best game today was, and we're going to start off with that game. Number 8 Arkansas defeating number 1 Kansas 72-71, man. What an absolute phenomenal game this was. It was so back and forth, and surprisingly Nick Smith did not play good today. And that really surprised me in a way, because he was probably the focal point of this Arkansas defense, but this team stepped up in massive ways. Devontae Davis led the team in scoring 25 points. He fouled out, and that's another thing I do want to talk about. There were so many fouls in this game. 25 fouls for Arkansas, 23 fouls for Kansas. Like 2 or 3 Arkansas guys fouled out, like 1 or 2 for Kansas fouled out, and then there was like another 4 or 5 with 4 fouls. Like everyone was either fouled out or was playing with fouls in this game. Ricky Council came up clutch. Jordan Walsh off the bench was very huge in this game, but Nick Smith was not his way today, man. I don't know if he got hurt. That was something I missed. If it is, I'm sorry. But Anthony Black only had 4 today, but this game was led by Devontae Davis and Ricky Council, man. And for Kansas, they could not hit a 3 today, as they're 5 for 13. Well, geez, Arkansas was 3 for 15. They just kept on making their free throws, and that's why Kansas lost this game. 72% at the free throw line is absolutely abysmal. Grady Dick did not have a good game today either. He's one of their best shooters. He was 3 for 9 today, and this was really just the Jalen Wilson show, and nobody else really came up clutch for Kansas. And Arkansas, they showed out, man. Phenomenal win under Eric Musselman, man, and I'm never going to doubt Eric Musselman ever again in March, because even though Arkansas was really good matchup wise with Kansas still had a big edge. And because of this, I'm actually leading in one of my brackets, one of the groups I'm in, Behind Our Basketball. If you are not subscribed to Sal and his channel, it's absolutely fantastic over there. Go give him a sub. I've been over there for a few years now. Absolutely amazing. That's where I've been watching most of these games with those guys, and I've actually been getting a lot of input. So this Arkansas game was wild. They're going to go on to the next round versus the winner of tomorrow's game, St. Mary's versus UConn. Next game, Tennessee versus Duke. And oh my gosh, like Tennessee plain out stopped Duke. Duke looked so dominant in their game in the first round versus Oral Roberts that I thought they could go far, but Tennessee came out and showed today that they could still go deep even without Zakai Ziegler, their best player. And it was just mainly because of Olivier Kemhoa. I definitely butchered his name, but he went off. He had a career day, 27 points. He only averaged like 8-10 points a game. He's on the thumbnail for a reason. I'm just not good with names. He was shooting the ball fantastically today. 10 for 13. He had that huge dunk at the end of the game, which basically was the dagger of this game. And for Duke, Tyrese Proctor had a good few moments. Jeremy Roach had a few good moments. Filipowski was alright. He just couldn't shoot the 3 today. Derek Lively was just doing cardio and rebounds, it seemed like, as he had 0 shot attempts. He had 36 minutes. Tennessee's defense was phenomenal today. I was talking about Duke's defense last week versus Oral Roberts. Tennessee just did the complete 180 versus Duke. Been just plain out fantastic defense, as it was very hard for the Blue Devils to get up shots. And Tennessee, like if they play like this, they're going to give either FAU or FDU a tough challenge beyond this. And I'm just looking at this potential bracket. If Tennessee keeps playing like they did today, they could match up versus Michigan State well, Kansas State well. Kentucky and Marquette will be a little bit of a challenge, but Tennessee now has got me convinced they could potentially make a Final Four run, especially with how March Madness has been this year. So great win for the Volunteers, and Duke, what a sad way to end a great run. Next game, number 2 Texas defeated number 10 Penn State 71-66. This game was just fun to watch. And the thing about this is Texas made one single three-pointer today. 1 for 13, 7%. That is just crazy. But Dylan Dusu, man, balled out, had the game of his life. 28 points and 10 rebounds. Phenomenal game from Dusu. Or Disu. I'm going to say Dusu. I suck at names. You found that out with Tennessee. But he's only averaged like 8 points a game this year. He just balled out today. And so Jabari Rice off the bench, 13. That was clutch. Tyrese Hunter was making his shots, but man, they just kept on giving it to Dusu and Rice, man. Marcus Carr was also very involved, as Marcus Carr basically played this entire game. He came up clutch at the end, making a few free throws. But for Penn State, the three-point shooting was very inconsistent today. Andrew Funk, who had like 8 for 9 last week, only had 2 for 10 in this game. Jalen Pickett had a good game. Cameron Winter had a good game. But they were just not hitting the three as much as they were versus Texas A&M. And if they hit a few more three-pointers, this game could have got very lopsided very quick. Texas got really lucky. Dusu had a great game. And Rodney Terry made some big-time adjustments in critical times. And that's what overall made Texas win this game. They will next round... They will play the winner of Xavier versus Pitt. Texas, they should win that, and then they got that Houston game, or Indiana, Miami. We'll figure all that out later. But Texas, as of right now, they're destined to at least make the Elite Eight, potentially the Final Four. But they're going to have to go through Houston. And Houston absolutely shocked me today. Marcus Sasser played, and he played a lot more than I originally thought. He played 30 minutes today, and Auburn was leading at halftime. Houston outscored Auburn in the second half 50-23. That is insane. Trayvon Mark was a big critical reason, and just like the Arkansas and Kansas game, Houston was getting a lot of fouls. Marcus Sasser was in deep foul trouble. Jamal Shed was in deep foul trouble. Jerace Walker was in deep foul trouble. None of them fouled out, luckily, but this was huge. Guys like Chaney, Archino, and Sharp off the bench came up huge in those times when Sasser and Shed have to sit off the bench. And, oh man, we need to talk about Johnny Broome, don't we? Johnny Broome, 6 for 16 at the free throw line, man. That's what killed Auburn in this game. The second half free throw shooting. They couldn't hit one to save their life, especially with Johnny Broome. He sold at the end of this game, man. And Auburn was up at halftime. I want to say it was 41-31. Yes, it was 41-31. Houston in the second half was absolutely phenomenal. And also, on top of that, Houston had 11 blocks in this game. 6 from Jerace Walker and 13 from Roberts. Not 13. Oh, my God. If someone had 13 blocks in the game by one player, man. But Roberts had 5 blocks. Walker had 6. And then Shed also had 1. Houston, if you are able to bounce back like this, Sasser stays healthy, I'm happy that in at least my main bracket, I have Houston. In the Elk NCAA bracket, it's doomed. And we have UCLA winning. Let's talk to you about UCLA real quick. They survived versus Northwestern 68-63. And I will say this, I was a little bit surprised that Northwestern made it a game so much in this game. Chase Aduji was probably the main reason why they were in this game. Boo Buie was also a main reason. Northwestern offensively came to play today. But UCLA, you have Jaime Jaquez, you have Amari Bailey, you have Tiger Campbell, you have Adam Bona. It's going to be hard to get through that first four. Andrews made a few shots off the bench today as well. And UCLA, with Kansas losing, they could be the favorite now. Depending on how we see Gonzaga play tomorrow, how we see UConn play tomorrow, UCLA can 100% make a run to the Final Four with the loss with Kansas in this region. Great win for the Bruins here. Post-record Ethan here. David Singleton for UCLA apparently suffered a huge major leg ankle injury, and he could be out for the remainder of the tournament. And that's going to be huge for UCLA. Like, he's the guy that really stepped in for UCLA once Jalen Clark was hurt. I know Amari Bailey's been more focal pointed in this offense. I mean, David Singleton is a huge reason or a huge thing for this UCLA team. So I keep on saying they could make a deep run. Who knows at this point, man? It's March Madness. This is a big time injury. Injuries happen. It's part of the game. But yeah, I'm still high on UCLA. I think Mick Cronin is just a really good head coach. But I'm just gonna say this because I did say David Singleton before. So yeah, continue with the video. Next game. I'm surprised I haven't talked about it yet. I'm just flowing these teams and topics. Number 15 seed Princeton defeats number 7 Mizzou 78-63. For the third straight year, a 15 seed has made the Sweet 16, and that is just absolutely incredible. This time it was Langborg leading Princeton as he was leading the shooting. He had 22 points. Peters had 17 off the bench, only having 14 minutes. And Mizzou playing out they couldn't stop him. Mizzou was a little bit inconsistent shooting the three, only 27%. But Princeton out-rebounded them a lot, getting a lot of those putbacks. Princeton next round is going to have a super tough test versus the winner of Creighton Baylor tomorrow. Creighton Baylor, oh my gosh, that's going to be an amazing game. Every time I talk about it, I just get excited because I'm just thinking about Andrew Nemharm, Kalkbrenner, Keontae Jorms, Adam Flat. Oh man, I hope that game's close tomorrow, but I'm getting off topic. Princeton's going to have a true tough test versus either one of those teams. And who knows, maybe Princeton can defeat one of Creighton or Baylor. I don't think that would be Baylor, but who knows? It's March Madness, and just a fantastic win for Princeton. And hopefully FDU keeps his New Jersey spirit alive, because I'm a New Jersey native. I just love seeing these New Jersey teams win. Great win for Princeton, and overall just a fantastic moment again for college basketball. Next up, we have Alabama defeating Maryland, and I think we all kind of expected this in a way. Alabama, the number 1 seed. Maryland's a little bit iffy. And just plain out, Alabama showed up more today. They've hit the 3 better today. Brandon Miller actually showed up today for once. Last game versus Texas A&M, Corpus Christi apparently had a groin injury. I didn't mention that, and I kind of didn't know because, like I said in that video, I didn't even watch the game. That was one of the 2 games I haven't watched. But Alabama, they just plain out looked more dominant. I don't care what the stats say. The turnovers are the same, fouls are the same, blocks are the same, steals are the same, assists are the same. Like, the only real difference is Alabama is shooting a little bit better, and they've gotten way more rebounds. And that's an issue with Maryland because they don't really have the size compared to Alabama. Benedinko and Clowney and Miller, they keep on getting these boards, and Maryland doesn't have the size. So next round, Alabama will go on to face San Diego State, and you're about to see me rave in a minute about San Diego State. I really think they have a chance to beat Alabama. I'll get more to that a little in like a few minutes. But Alabama versus San Diego State, going to be a great game. And to end the video, San Diego State defeats Furman 75-52. And the Aztecs had full control of this obliteration game. And you just look at everything. San Diego State did it better. Furman, they really didn't shoot well. 32 overall, so 23 from 3. But let's count down what San Diego State did better today. They shot better, 50% compared to 32%. They shot the 3 better, 30 compared to 23. The free throws are the same, but they almost doubled the amount of rebounds compared to Furman. They've had 10 more assists, steals, blocks are the same, fouls are the same. But when the rebounding came up clutch, and why Furman wasn't able to shoot, San Diego has one of the best perimeter defenses in all college basketball. I do not care if San Diego State's in the Mountain West, the MAC, the Big 12, any single conference. If you have the amount of talent and defense like San Diego State has, they're going to give every single team a challenge, in my opinion. And they're going to match up very well versus Alabama. San Diego State does have size to compete with those Alabama guys. And like I said a minute ago, Alabama likes to shoot the 3. San Diego State will be able to stop that, in my opinion. The only true issue is, can San Diego State keep up the scoring to compete with Alabama? As you see, they scored 75. They can most certainly do that. San Diego State, Alabama might be my personal favorite second round matchup as of right now, as that's probably like the only true one that's set. But that's going to be a real matchup, and don't be surprised if the Aztecs get an upset. But Alabama, they look dominant in this tournament, but they just, something doesn't feel right in my opinion. I can't put my tongue on it, but like something doesn't feel right. And that is it for round of 32, day 1. Tomorrow we have some or when you see this, today we have some really fun games. The main one's probably Creighton Baylor. Kentucky Kansas State. Oh my gosh, that's the main game. My bad. But Michigan Marquette's gonna be good. St. Mary's UConn, FDU FAU, really good game. Like, there's so many good games tomorrow. The only game that I'm somewhat not interested in is Pitt Xavier, but man, that could even be a good game. So a great March Madness, a great day for the round of 32. Like, share, subscribe, y'all, and like always, have a good day. Peace out.